So for my understanding of ESG, I know it stands for environmental, social, and governance. And basically it's kind of a new wave idea about companies need to be focusing on environmental and social issues as well as how they're governing the actual business. And this is kind of a political debate because um, I think a lot more conservatives kind of point to ESG as like, oh, these companies are more focused on their environmental things or their campaigns that they're running rather than actually governing the business, which the example was a Silicon Valley bank. Many people point to ESG and say that because they were focused on these factors, they were kind of neglecting the governance side of it, which is why that bank failed. Personally, I think that ESG, from what I know, doesn't seem bad. I think that it's important to look at all aspects of the world, especially as a huge corporation or a big company, because they can have such an impact on the environment and even like businesses who donate to certain campaigns to like make a difference. Like there's a lot of different things that corporations can do because there's so much money and power consolidated. So I really don't think it's a bad thing to look at those sides of business, and I don't think ESG is necessarily toxic. I do understand, however, the concern of if they're more focused on, environmental impact or doing these good things socially and culturally to be accepted, then it can take away from the actual business part of it, which this we actually learned in my comp class the other day, talking about how, some advertisements that companies will put out, like the Coke Kendall Jenner advertisement is a fantastic one. In reality, the company is just selling soda and they're trying to be like woke and put out all these things, and it's just like, you're a soda company. So I kind of do understand that, at the end of the day, it's like, be the actual business. I do understand that part. But I think ESG is not really toxic. I think that everything needs to be considered in a company because it can have a lot of impact on the environment. So personally, I don't think that the bank collapse was necessarily due to ESG because I think that governance is an aspect of that, and from what I can tell, a lot of the problem with that was that there wasn't a lot of governance and a lot of regulation in the bank, which is what caused the issue. So I think that if they were truly focusing on all the different aspects of ESG, I don't think that it would have been this huge issue or that it would have happened necessarily. I think that ESG is not just focusing on environmental and social. You also make sure that it's governance and you're actually running your business correctly. So no, I don't think that ESG is toxic. I can't understand where people would come from with that, but if people are fully participating in ESG and following all the regulations, then no, I don't think that it's necessarily bad for business, and I think that it can actually be helpful in this day and age.